Good morning everyone and welcome back to another video here where today we're going to be taking a look at something interesting that I did recently, and that is play with train elevation. Now, as some of you may know, eventually I want to have a city, and to have a city of course I want to have trains that can go up and down ramps so they can go underneath the layout and such like that. So I decided that I'd knuckle down today and work out how long a elevation ramp needs to be to get a train to clear a substantial height, I guess. So this is sort of the height that I'm looking for. It's about 16 or so bricks tall, and I think more specifically it's a decent height, like almost top of modular height, and that's something that doesn't quite come across here. But anyway, as I said, this is a slope and it goes down at one end and up at the other end, and you can see that each time the stack decreases down one length of track is about one brick of elevation maximum, and then down at the bottom, in order to make a smoother connection with the ground, you can see I've flushed it to 2 plates before I go to 1 plate and 0 plates, just to make it easier for the train, as train motors notoriously hate me. So if we come over here, you can see that on the down it's a very similar story. It goes down about one brick at a time, one brick at a time, and it's that one at the top where it becomes much more stressed, and there's a big gap there, but the train still manages it fine. I've never had it derail, and we'll take a look at it moving in a minute. But yeah, it takes about 14 or so pieces of track to get down to ground level, and that's what's really crucial, because each track obviously takes up length, and I think we worked out it takes, and don't trust my numbers here, it's about 3.5 modulars maybe to get from the floor to the height that I want. So it's a long distance. I'm gonna have a lot of tunnels, so the next part of my journey here is to work out how to minimize stuff like that and how to make the most out of that space. But that's for another day. Okay, here, so I've got my train cart and I'm going to try and push it up the hill for you. I apologize for the bad camera work, I'm working handed, and you can see that it pushes its way up. However, it's sort of awkward because to pull the full cargo train I had to make significant modifications, but as I'm demonstrating now, you can see that the reason we chose this height is because other trains can go underneath it. Not only that, but it can also, there you could have a wooden platform above it, and then this is sort of like your underground. It's the minimum height you need to go down in order to have a double-decker city layout. Anyway, let's get those trains moving. Right, and I've got my cargo train here, and we're going to try and send him up the hill. And you can see that on even slow speeds, he can make it. Now, it's a slow journey, but I don't really care much about the speed as long as he never actually stops. And then he absolutely whooshes down the other side. Here comes the Hogwarts Express, which I motorised a couple of months back. And you can see that the cargo train does it much faster, so I've stopped in here to show you that the wheels are connected. And actually, one change I had to make is, in order for the cargo train to pull all 4 of its cars in the original set, I had to add a second train bogie to the train, so both the front and the back wheels are motorised. And you can see here that the Hogwarts Express really even struggles to pull one. Okay, let me just quickly fix that for us. Okay, got that working, and you can see that the Hogwarts Express can struggle dependingly, just because of how much friction and such it has. But I think we're going to just get rid of him here because he's come off the rails a bit, and he's never been the most reliable train, even in the first place. You can see also there that I've got to be careful that the track is secured, and obviously it's loose here, but that doesn't touch stuff like pillars, because otherwise that's going to significantly get in the way. Yeah, so this is being problematic. Anyway, let me bring the cargo train round for you. I'm going to show you the underside of the engine, and you can see here what I mean. These are both motorized train bogies hooked up to the same motor, and that was absolutely crucial in order for it to have enough power to make it up the hill. Now obviously the smaller the train, the less of a problem this would be, but because this is a 4-carriage train, of course it's going to be difficult. Yeah, and that's pretty much the setup. That I'm just experimenting, trying to gather some facts, and then in another future video we'll take this into studio and actually like design a little bit of a train ramp or something, just to prove to you, like, guys, like what I think actually this means, what I think is going to happen here. Although that will be quite hard to mock up in studio, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work. Okay, yeah, and I'm just attempting to show you up close here what happens when it reaches the top and what the problem is, because there's this massive gap where the wheels don't actually connect, and unless you have extra friction or you limit the gap, which is what I've done, you can see that the wheels come off, and you can see I added a rubber band there just to make the wheel a bit more have a bit more traction on the track, and that's really important for this hill setup. And that motorized Hogwarts Express is a really painful mod that I will not be showing on the channel just because it's awful, just as a side note. So originally the cargo train on one motor could just take one car, however on a good day it could also take two, however and neither of those is the case at the moment. Okay, so let's just attempt to get this one going again. Which wheel was it at? There we go, there we go. Oh, he's about to move off, and yeah, we got our little person in there. And yeah, that's pretty much all there really is to show you. I was really just messing around and experimenting with it. And here's the proof I wanted to show you guys just about the height. So you can see here I've got a modular base plate. So if you counted there, a modular down, one modular down, and it's a bit further than that before a train could pass under a modular. So when we're talking about these ramps, the first sort of modular of this 4 modular length ramp can be covered because the train doesn't have enough clearance, and that's what I'm trying to illustrate here. Now we've got our base plate, and it's about there-ish maybe where the train becomes able to go underneath. Let me just check this. Oh, math is hard. Yeah, it's about 1 modular of the slope that can be covered, and that's really cool. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to show today. So while I keep faffing around over here, I think I'll sign off for the day. I hope someone got something informative out of this weird Me Do Maths live session, and that if this is your thing or you prefer my custom set showcase stuff, stick around on the channel and consider subscribing. More of a filler video today, but I still thought this was important information to share, and well, I've got some big stuff coming next Monday, so you're sure to be here for that. Anyway, that's all from me today. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.